Hello, this is Gil Boyd. If you can follow my simple instructions, you're about to enjoy a very pleasant and a very beneficial experience. First, be sure that you will not be disturbed. Second, remove your shoes or any apparel that could interfere with your physical comfort in any way. Third, now stretch out on your back with your legs separated so that no part of your calves or thighs are touching. Feet separated at least 8 to 10 inches. Arms extended loosely and limply alongside your body. Palms facing downward. Fingers limply outstretched. Once we begin, you can help best by remaining quiet and passive. Our first goal is for you to become unaware of your body. And you can best achieve that goal by avoiding movement. The first thing then that I want you to do is to fix your eyes at a spot on the ceiling overhead. Pick out an imaginary spot and stare at that spot without moving a muscle. Now take a deep breath and fill up your lungs. Exhale slowly. Sleep now. Now a second and even deeper breath. Take in all of the air that your lungs can hold. Exhale slowly. Sleep now. And now a third deep breath. Exhale. Sleep now. Now let your eyelids close down. Now your eyelids are closed down. Please leave them closed down until I ask you to open them again. You will always be able to open your eyes unless I were to give you a direct command and tell you that your eyelids were locked closed. I don't intend to do that. Hypnosis is a state of mind and not a state of eyelids. Now I want you to mentally picture and imagine that you are looking at the muscles in the tips of the toes of your left foot. In your imagination, follow those muscles as they move back into the ball of the foot. Back into the arch. And all the way back to the heel. Now turn all of those muscles loose. Let them grow limp and lazy, just like a handful of loose rubber bands. Now as the muscles begin to relax, just let your mind relax too. Let your mind drift where it will. Let your mind drift off to pleasant scenes in your imagination. And now let the relaxation move on up into the ankle now. From the ankle all the way up to the left knee. The calf muscles begin to grow loose and limp, heavy and so relaxed. All of your tensions are fading away. You're relaxing more with each easy breath that you take. Begin breathing more deeply now. Just as you breathe each night when you are deep and sound in slumber. Just imagine that you can see your breath as a white mist coming from your nostrils. Each and every time that you exhale this white mist, you are freeing yourself of sin and going deeper, deeper into drowsy relaxation. Now from the knee, all the way up to the left hip. The long thigh muscles are turning loose, easing off, and just relaxing now. Now as those muscles relax, just let go a little more, and gently, easily drift on over into a pleasant state of easy relaxation. Now let the wave of relaxation that started in the toes of your left foot just a few seconds ago, let it move over now into the toes of the right foot and begin moving back into the ball of the foot, back into the arch, and all the way back to the heel. Turn all of those muscles loose and go deeper and deeper in relaxation. Into the ankle, the muscles let go. From the ankle, all the way up to the right knee. The calf muscles are turning loose and letting go. You're relaxing more with each easy breath that you take, with each sound that you hear. Each sound around you carries you deeper, deeper in sounder in sleep. From the knee, all the way up to the right hip. The long thigh muscles roll in and lazy. Now as those muscles relax, just go all the way down. Deeper and deeper in drowsy slumber. Turn them all loose and go deeper in sleep. Now the wave of relaxation moves on up into the stomach now, into the solar plexus, the center of nervous energy. Each muscle and nerve lets loose, the tensions relaxing, you're drifting down. Deeper and deeper in sleep.
Yo! Welcome in. Happy Friday. How about that for some weird intro music, huh? Oh, you never know what I'm going to do to you next. I hope you guys like the little left of center intro. No, you won't be, you won't actually be like asked to bark like a dog or anything like that. No one's actually hypnotized. I find it hilarious that so many of these things were produced once upon a time. It's just fantastic. It didn't sound like this originally. All right, so who's here? Who's here? Happy Friday, y'all. Kato, how you doing? Happy Friday, Visor. You're here. It's all weird. Gotta respect the gazelle. Thank you so much, Omi. I appreciate you. Zeno, welcome in. How you doing? Happy Friday. Good to have you here. 11 months. Thank you so much, Visor. I appreciate you, homie. You know what? I haven't seen that work for a bit. I think it's like 2,300 people on Twitch, something like that. Empry, welcome in. Or Empire. How you doing? So, it's Feedback Friday. Yay! If you're currently sub, go grab free sounds from the Discord. I didn't swap them out yet this week. I will later this afternoon. So go grab double sounds. Grab them now, come back later, grab them again. You too can find relief from pain, I think it was originally. Is that what this was? Self-hypnosis conditioning. Yes, yes, yes. From Gil Boyne. Thank you, Gil Boyne. If y'all are interested, I'll just put that right down here. I'm sure you guys were riveted. I found this thing and I was like, this is so ridiculous. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the background noise. Oh, snap. Because we've been on for like a minute now, and last week there was like, I don't know, a few dozen posts to the channel by the time I got over there. So let's see if we can get over there a little bit quicker here. All right, I'm going to turn off the background noises so we don't have interesting little things in people's music. If you are here for feedback, of course, just get a Discord thing in here. You're going to head to the Discord. Hey, why are triggers not working? And hold on just a second. Just one sec. Let me just kick this box over here. Hey, oh, I see what's happened. Logged out every 30 days. Bot gets turned off. All right, so commands are coming back online. It says you're on. Really? Let's try that again. Ah, my triggers are gone. Wait, are all triggers gone? Hold on just a second. Okay. Man. First they kill Omibot. Now they just kill all my commands. What is up, Twitch? What is up? Come on, Twitch. Empire. Yeah, it's good to have you here. We're pretty weird here, and we love music. We gather every single Friday and listen to what the community has been making because these guys just tune into me the other days of the week to see what I'm making. So Um, yeah, when the bot commands don't work, right? It's like you type them 3 different times just to make sure. Yeah. Okay, so let me just try this again. Active. It says active. Yeah. Timers are there. Let's just try it one last time. Nah. Okay. So it's not working. So I will go here and we'll do this the old-fashioned way. Let's just change this. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know why Twitch has killed all of the bots, but it has killed all of the bots. It's frustrating. All right. Anyway, if you are here for the feedback, go ahead and drop your link in public feedback in the Discord. Discord link is at the top of the chat. It's a first come, first serve system. If you are new, if not, then we'll jump right in. Because I have no other announcements today. I have nothing new for you guys at all. Ayo, 80 Cop is kicking things off. Yeah, man. It sucks that they've taken out all of everybody's like timers and commands and various triggers, and it's frustrating. I feel like they have tried so many different ways to sabotage themselves over the years. All right, I'm gonna quit ranting and start clicking on some sounds. Happy Friday, everybody. There's like absolutely nothing good in the news, so why not goof off and listen to music for a few hours, right? 80 Cop. This one is, wait a minute, hold on a second. This is, ooh, do we get to watch this playing in the DAW here? Hey, how about that? How about that? Studio, we are doing Feedback Friday. If you're here to be heard, drop your tunes in the public feedback. There's a link to the Discord at the top of the chat. We're going to start off with 80 Cop here and just keep rolling because it is usually pretty busy on Fridays. All right, I'm actually going to move this one over to the other screen just so we can see this video. Happy Friday, y'all. Let's roll. Yo, 80 Co-op. This is great. I think this is fantastic. I got some notes for you. Nice to see your DAW, just your project in action in general. Nice, a lot of clicking around. It's nice. Kind of demystifies a few things. Okay, so there's some general muddiness in the mix. Not talking about the loss of the top end in any of the sounds, but just in general, there is some muddiness to the mix. I feel like there's just some mid lows and some lows that are holding this back, and it's just a matter of a little bit of EQ work, honestly. So go through each individual track. First things first, make sure that you've only ever got one main sub presence at any one time. Everything else kind of falls into line frequency wise from that point forward. Also, try not to distort the frequencies below, say, like 60 hertz or so. Things start to get pretty soupy down there. And we're really only hearing and appreciating the extra wiggles that the distortion makes from those frequencies and up, really. So better to leave the lowest frequencies pretty clean. Try and scoop whatever you can around like 250, 350, that range in some of your mid-low centric elements in your mix. And that should help kind of lift this thing up a little bit. There's going to have to be a little bit of counterbalancing to offset the effect of a lot of the filter down action that you're doing. Really enjoy that filtered appeal, though. A lot of those instruments feel like they're in a really good spot. Bar 65, want a little more variation in the delivery. Just we're hearing all of these ideas being presented in pretty much the same way as they have been up to this point, and it'd be cool just to get a moment where you flip that on its head somehow. Bar 80, wanting the beat to respond to what's happening melodically. You're introducing a lot of change. The beat is staying pretty persistent, so I'd shake that up a little bit. I think it'd be a little bit more fluid and organic and just responsive. Yeah. Really great track. Really great track. Love the timbres that you're cooking with, and especially all the textures. A lot of filter movement. It's good stuff. All right, let's see what people in the chat are saying. Zeno saying that's from yesterday. Yeah, this is some folks will post early to make sure that they don't forget to post because they aren't able to be here live at the time or whatever. So we allow it. Oh man, Empire saying can't think of a better way to spend the evening. To be honest, I just got my hearing back after a week of having an ear infection, blocked ear canal. So I'm relishing any and all music I can listen to right now. Oh, I bet, dude, that's the worst. That is the worst. I thought I was losing my hearing a couple of years ago because I got so clogged up when I was sick. Oh man, it's just the worst. Yeah, yeah. Empire saying I love when people screen cap their DAWs so you can see the way that they lay their projects out. It's so interesting to see how people differ in their workflow. Yeah, I think all the transparency is fantastic. I think it's just great. Kato saying, I feel like my MacBook would explode with all these tracks. Oh. Visor saying, why can't you always tell us what bar the feedback is? That'd be great. You know, if everyone shared their DAW, like a video of their project, I would. I would also point other things out. Like if people I would. If people took the time to record videos and show like the EQs and compressions and stuff for the various things as we're hearing it live, I would. I would make some more detailed notes for you because yeah, that's like an extra step. I think it puts much greater context into what's happening. You know, I mean, this shows us the arrangement, which is nice. But really, I think to solve the types of problems that most people come through here for, knowing real nitty gritty context is, it's like the holy grail. Feedback right there. Yeah, Zeno, it's okay. I have a little system here. I just put these things into a thread if the person isn't here, and we take care of the peeps in our community. All right. WMB saying, I again got an instrumental and remix. Choose which one you want to play. Ticket only permits one. Justin Timberlake got me a copyright strike. Oh, man. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Oh, I only see one posted here, so I think we get to skip the decision making. Oh, Empire. Yeah. I'm sure you'll have time. Is there a way to screen share? No, typically we don't. We don't on Feedback Fridays. We do special guests on some streams. But usually with folks that I've already done calls with, so we know everything is set up and it works right and all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, it becomes kind of a time sink, 80 Cop, you were just here. Hey, look, we just listened to it, and before we move on, I just want to say I love being able to see inside of your DAW, and you've sparked this interest in the chat. They're like, "Ooh, I want to record something. I want to upload screenshots or video." I was just telling them that it'd be even better if we could see specific settings. So in general, there's a little muddiness to your mix, and it isn't the filtering of the various instruments. I love all the filtered instruments. What's going on is there's just some extra bass frequencies, some unnecessary low-end frequencies left in a few of your tracks. So go through and EQ a little bit tighter, a little bit more bold decision making. And see if you can isolate sounds a little bit better. That'll help clean up the muddiness. And search for, in your mid-low range elements, search for little spots that you can carve a little bit out between like 250, 350, 400, something like that. And that should help kind of lift up the track just a little bit, kind of help counter the softening of all of the high end of all those different instruments. And then I was just saying a little variation in the actual delivery of what we're hearing around bar 65, that section, I think that'd be nice. And then bar 80, it'd be great to hear the beat responding to what's happening melodically. I think it just pull us in a lot more. But I love the palette. I love the arrangement. I think it's a really great track. It's really good stuff. Oh, hey, Visor is asking, hey, by the way, do you know about when Downshifter 2 might be released? Good question. I don't know about the exact date, but I sent it over, when was it? It was like last week before last, I think. So probably, my guess would be this coming week. I think Christoph probably just wanted a little bit of time between releases around the course that he's just put up. If you guys aren't aware, Christoph has put out a course to help folks that are wanting to make sound packs, sell sounds, that type of thing. He's put together a course for that. So if you're interested, head on over to the Ghost Hack site and check it out. Hey, Tumpus here. Pizza and Feedback Friday. Ah, nice. Yeah, those sounds I think turned out pretty well. I think it's a pretty good track or pack. All right, WMB. It is you. Tobago. Wolf-like aura. Okay, well, that's not there. Next. We got Josh. We got live. Josh usually arrives a bit later. Oh, wait, hold on a second. But he's got a bunch of stuff that's posted to his YouTube. Basically like one big album, one big collection.
Well, you and I know, it's you and I know, our love's gonna end, our love's gonna end. Ask your mom, your dad, your best friend. Cause we have too many fights, we have too many fights, we cry too many tears, so many tears. The days turn into weeks, the weeks turn into months and years. Still you and I know, yes you and I know, our love's gonna end, our love's gonna end. Ask your mom, your dad, your best friend. My best friend, you're my best friend. My best friend, you're my best friend. My best friend, oh, you're my best friend. My best friend, you're my best friend. Till we have too many fights, we have too many fights, we cry too many tears, so many tears. We've been together for the years. Still you and I know, yes you and I know, our love's gonna end, our love's gonna end. Ask your mom, your dad, your best friend. My best friend, you're my best friend. My best friend, you're my best friend. You're my best friend, oh, you're my best friend. My best friend, you're my best friend. So let's fight all our fights, let's fight all our fights, let's cry all our tears, all of our tears. Together we can face all of our fears. So let's stay together, yes, let's stay together until the very end, until the very end. Thanks to your mom and dad, you're my best friend. My best friend, you're my best friend. My best friend, you're my best friend. You're my best friend, oh, you're my best friend. My best friend, you're my best friend until the end.
Josh, okay, so I think it's a great song, and I think that the music is really fun and upbeat. I think that the vocal is a little out of alignment with the music and the lyrics. I think it should be a little bit more excited and playful. It feels kind of flat, like you weren't fully into it in the recording. So I would take another swing at this one, and maybe like have a picture, like a really fun picture of whoever you wrote this about or for or with. Um, maybe like a picture that makes you smile. Like whenever you see it, you can't help but smile. And just take that into the booth with you and see if that helps. Because it's a good track. It's a good track. I just think that your vocals are usually stronger. That's what I got for you on this one. Tomasan seems a bit off towards the end of the verse. Oh, I do say that. There seems to be a little bit of drag and some drift as the phrases progress. So it's almost as if there isn't quite enough energy to make it all the way through and carry it from beginning to end. It kind of tapers. So do more to keep the trajectory of like excitement up, and maybe ending things on the up instead of the down. Maybe that would help. Yeah, not all the time though. Yeah, you're right, Tomba. Absolutely. Needs to be sang with a big smile. Yeah, it's so true. You know how your mom always says, like, hey, people can hear you smile. It's true. Tomba. Oh wait, hold on a second. I should put that into a thread because Josh is not in the room right now. Okay. Tomba. Not finalized. A few little timing and levels to sort out. However, this is my most polished version of it yet. Enjoy, Chris and chat. Excellent. Let's go listen. Let's see what this one sounds like. Not found. Uh-oh. What's going on? Tomba. Tomba, I don't know if you've posted again down below, but the one up here is not clicking through, so I will scroll back to it if you have a chance to update it. Visor, move on to you. Hope you're doing well, homie. Hey, this looks different. Visor's saying a little over a week ago, I completely reworked my mastering chain, and now my masters sound a lot more clear. So this is the first track that you'll hear with that new chain. Oh, excellent, excellent. Okay, Ivy, IVE. I'm excited. Good. I'm glad you're doing all right. Let's go. Official Visor moment. Trademark.
네가 참 궁금해 그건 너도 마찬가지 이거면 충분해 좋고 좋는 이런 너비 참을 수 없는 이끌림과 호기심 묘한 너와 나 두고 보면 알겠지 눈동자대로 감추고 있는 거 Yeah, it's so bad, it's good 난 그 맘을 좀 봐야 It's a persistent 묶어라 나를 서로를 잊혀봐 아름다운 까만 눈빛에 빠져 깊이 숨차고 love I saw the dive A perfect sacrifice Yeah 숨차고 love 마음은 이렇게 알다가도 모르지 사랑이라는 건 한순간의 필자니 직접 들어와 두 눈으로 확인해 내맘 가장 깊은 데로 오면 돼 망설일 시간은 멈추면 가는 거야 Yeah, it's so bad, it's good 원하면 감히 뛰어들어
All right. I think right away you can hear an immediate difference in a few different things. There's a couple things to take care of mix wise, but you're right, there's a lot more clarity and detail and edge to a lot of different things. There's also um a certain kind of presence or accent in a couple of different instruments uh, that I feel have less energy to them um, than some of your other mixes. So I do want to address that too. Okay, so definitely more dynamic range, which is also nice. One of the things I noticed is that the super saws and the vocals are in direct competition with one another, and the vocals are getting stepped on. So there's a couple things that can happen. One, I think that there can be a little bit of responsiveness to the super saws when the vocals are present volume wise, and then also you could play around with some responsive EQ, sidechain in the vocal signal and have the EQ on the supersaw channel respond to the signal strength of the vocals, right? So the stronger the vocal, the more that comes down. 250, that's a good spot where you can hear that the vocal is tucked under the synth. And just in general, the thing that I'm hearing the most that I think can help improve things is using some subtractive EQing. Perhaps you might be able to get a little bit more. But then also just in general, some accenting. I would love to hear a little bit more around 1K or so on the vocals. I think that there's just a few moments with your instruments as they are performing that you can use active volume automation and EQ automation to really accent and make something a little bit more bold. And if you're thinking about when those moments might be, think about these little turnarounds, points of transition, these kind of little crescendos, and the moments that you want to land a little bit more emotional impact. But these are differences of just a couple dB in frequency when you're talking about EQ. So don't go all ham. These are subtle differences. This is a really good one, dude. I think this is a good, solid level up. Let's see. Oh, Tomba, no worries, dude. We'll scroll right back up and listen to it. All good. Oh, nice, Empire. Maslow Wayne, yeah, saying a lot of hardstyle sound design. Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty solid. Okay, so you do have some responsive EQ on the saws from the vocal, but could try increasing the intensity. Yeah. I think it's really just separation in this one. I think that the new chain is great. What's your DAW? I forget. Okay. Tomba. It is you. Let's go listen to that. There we go. Good to see you. Here we go. Let me turn this off here. Okay. Done typing. Tomba, this is great. It sounds and feels great. The rustle of the bush, I did not get a timestamp on a few of these, sorry. The rustle of the bush ending a little bit abruptly was just noticeable. So I'd fake a little better departure. I'd just splice in a little more rustle in there and put a volume curve on there and get the timing just right. Really good energy. Really, really good energy in here. Okay, so this string being plucked, it'd be wonderful to hear just ever so subtle modifications when it's in drone mode. Like, not when it's moving up and down in pitch, but when it's just doing its thing and it's just kind of sustaining in that drone mode for more than a few seconds. It'd be so cool to hear like a doubling. Like if you just had that sound running straight out to an aux at a level where you weren't hearing that it was doubled, and then affect the tuning of that, right? And then start playing with the panning of that just ever so subtly, right? That would be kind of cool. Like micro tuning subtlety or something like that. It could also be that it's reacting to something that we're not actually hearing in the mix, right? Like there could be some very, very subtle gating or processing that's all being triggered through a sidechain that's just kind of affecting the integrity of the sound, if that makes sense. 324, wanting these elements to share the same space. This is a really cool moment, and this is a really nice groove, but it also feels like there's a different reverb on like 4 different elements. And if we had all those things in the same room, I feel like these guys were really cooking. 346, wanting the rapid perks that come in, which are awesome, to come in surging in just a little bit more strong, like put a bit more of a curve, a dramatic curve on them, so they kind of rush up at one point, and then maybe they end up coming back down just a little bit, and then maybe there's a little bit of filter on there too, so we're actually hearing slightly different accent points because there could be just a little bit of resonance in that filter as it moves around, right? And maybe you could even use something like a sample and hold signal or something like that for the modulation, so it kind of, you know, jumps to these different positions instead of having this kind of smooth, you know, you don't want to drag this accent. You kind of want them to be strong, I think, like the perk hits. Anyway, 424 or 442, sorry, wanting the string to be doing something else in the background when it thinks we aren't looking. So there's this moment here. If we go here and listen. It's just back there doing the same thing, but it's everything else is the focus in this moment. So it'd be cool if in this moment, tucked back there, it's doing a different sequence. Like it's doing a slightly different, it's hitting different notes. That'd be kind of cool. 511, when the instrument disappears, the string instrument, perhaps kick it out with some degradation or something. You know, down sample or maybe clip or something rapid gate, something to mess with our perception of it right at the very last second. Yeah, I get it. You're hesitant on the perks due to their EQ. I hear you, but I think you can be a little bit more bold there. And then I think you'll be rewarded for it. I think you will. And yes, you did do me proud. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's good. Good artwork too, right here. If this is not the art for it when it's released, I'm going to be probably bummed. Okay. Zen. It is you. Let's listen to you. You are Zen. Excellent. Excellent. Let's do it then. This is called The Snail from Zenful. Okay. This is great. I love it. I love the weirdness. I like the ambiguity of all of it. There's a story and like there's so much specificity to this that I think that it absolutely deserves a subtle atmosphere element, not just a sense of atmosphere being derived from the musical elements, but an actual atmosphere element. Help us understand how the air moves in this space that we are in, right? Put us in a very, very specific location, and then a couple of very subtle environmental sounds for additional buy in, right? That's what I would recommend as far as to finish setting the scene, because this feels like there's a great deal of mystery and specificity to it. Okay, so the loudness of this is all right, and the dynamic range is not. I kind of want less limiting, so there's more space between these things. You can get to the same level of loudness by using saturation. You're just going to generate more harmonics in your individual sounds. That's going to make it easier for you to isolate and define each of your individual sounds. And then you're not going to squish them together through limiting because they're already going to have more life force and presence. And then you won't need to slam them into a wall like this, because when you do, it's decreasing the active distance between them. So proximity is kind of messed up in the audience's perception of everything. So that's what I would do. I would back off the limiting. I would use a little bit more saturation throughout the mixing process while you are actually arranging, and then add a subtle atmosphere. So there's a top to this thing. And then subtle environmental sounds for buy-in, right? If this is an underground area, are the walls wet and moist? Are they dripping? Are there footsteps involved? Is there a certain kind of something that you can put into the reverberated space that would allow us to better perceive the space around us, right? Very tiny little drips, drops, a tiny little scuff, a scrape, animal sounds if it's applicable or whatever, but just something to kind of pull us into this reality. Okay, so this kind of throaty rattle that repeats, I'd give it active modulation on pretty much every single delivery throughout. And I know that it repeats a bunch, but think about it. Think about it. You think about like when a frog croaks or something like that, right? It's not just blah, right? It's blah, right? There's a curve to it, right? And now if each one of these is just a little bit different, I know that's kind of meticulous, but it'd be really cool. It'd be really cool. Just imagine just a little pitch dive or a little pitch climb or a little detuning as it happens, so that rattle just kind of feels different, or maybe it's a little bit more drive or something. All right, that's it. Just detail work. I love the whole vibe that you're kicking out here. I think it's great. The throat rattle is a UA. Oh, nice. I know the UA. Oh, Lude. Ludi, is that you? How are you? Ooh, this will be your 2026 LP you're working on. Very nice. Very nice. You're off to a really good start. I love it. Empire says, abandoned space station, 1800 years in the future, being chased by a terrifying alien life form, but only the alien knows it, and we're seeing it from the alien's perspective. That's the vibe and scenario I'm getting from it. So this post is from Empire, and I just got done watching the last episode of the season of Foundation last night, and for those of you who follow it, it's just like, rah! So much happened. Empire makes me think of it. Ludi, how are you? How are things? Oh man, people are loving this, by the way. Zen. Kato saying the snail reminds me of War Thunder. Tomba's dancing. Sudden death vibe, says Maslow. It's good stuff. People are liking this. "11 tracks. Nice, nice, nice. It's a very solid number for an album. That's not an EP. That is an album. When I was young, an EP was just a few songs. An LP, yes, yes. Not an extended play, a long play. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I love the number 11 for an album. It's solid. It's good. Absolutely. Dio Kelly, welcome in. Torch, welcome in. Torch saying, just left the studio. Want to hear my rough draft me and my homies made. Yeah, drop it. There is a link to the Discord at the top of the chat, and drop it in the public feedback channel in the Discord, and we will get to you. Kato, it is you. Oh, let me just spell it properly here. Third time's a charm. There we go. All right, Kato back with Polo. Yes, Dio Kali, that's exactly what you do.
Yeah, Scott, I've been rapping in this polo. No, you couldn't tell me shit about to flip, about to dip. Why you acting hypocrite? I'll keep it level with ya. Spin the block, please don't let me catch you slip up. On a new team, new dream. Sipping on Ciroc, I need a new drink, new shrink. Sharing all my problems with a new fling. Hit it from the back while the phone rings. Couldn't tame that girl, she got the ghost wings. Fucking up my mental, pop the whole bean, smoke green. Life not too simple, but I keep it cream. ODB, fuck up on my image, told me keep it clean. Shawty give me dental while she look at me. Singing like the choir, like her name was Celine. Rating all these tunes like her name Angeline. Damn man walking, no, I couldn't kick it with ya. Casting all these spells, I couldn't keep up with ya. Spazzing, causing hell, I kinda like to switch up. Design it doesn't matter if you couldn't render. I've been up all night, reliving, thinking twice. Could mix up the Sprite, and he treat me right, yeah. Wake up, roll the dice, what a wonderful life. What if we never took the bite? Would it change up how we fight, yeah? Forward with the motion on to something new. Can't fuck up my plans, only speak what's true. Never trust a soul, but still popping them blues. Kinda getting old, had to take the clue. Live them loose, slowly lose control, I'm in an endless loop. Couldn't find the light, they claimed another truth. Do the shit I like, I try to keep it smooth. Never lose sight on something bigger, what a shame to hit the snooze. Try to keep it cordial, but you always prove. Wanna see me down, you wanna see me bruised. Came up out the pain, I had to make a move. Never choose, fuck about a hater, be the closest in the crew. Hating on the player when the game it got you screwed. Dealer cut no favors, take your cards and then you shoot. Aiming for the net, the backward, it could help you too. Not used to assist, they wanna make it on the news. Shout out publicists, they the ones that pick and choose. Wanna make it rich, I hope you know what that includes. Be it come down if you slip, have to fall on something new. Scared of taking risks, play that game like a true.
All right. Got a couple things here for you. I think this is a pretty good mix. The vocal can be a little bit more atop the whole mix. I give it an 8 dB bump, maybe a little bit of overdrive, no grit, just a little bit of drive. Target 4K or so. Add 1.5 to 2.5 dB of drive, and then adjust the volume to taste. Probably need to bring it down just slightly. Backing vocal accents up about 6 dB. Just both vocal channels. Got to get them up just a little bit more. Nice rattle on the 808. Felt nice. Keep the sub bass out of the compression chain. You can hear that when it dips out of the mix, the whole thing comes up, and it's indicative of the sub kind of holding the track back throughout the entirety of the song. In fact, if you remove it from the chain, you may not even have to do anything to the vocals. You might need to bring down a couple of the synths because they probably won't need to fight to get through as much. But I guarantee you're losing dB. Like you're losing a chunk of volume whenever that bigger signal is present. Compressors and limiters have absolutely no idea what you're running through them. They have no idea what you're working on. They only understand signal strength. And since it's only one line of audio coming into that compressor and one line of audio leaving that compressor, whenever that sub or any other element peaks, it triggers the compression into action, and it reduces the volume. So that's why at times this is feeling like everything is being held back. So that'll probably be the biggest change. Tomba saying that snare is nice in my brain. Torch saying I sent the rough draft. I'll send more of my music. Yeah, it's great. Ricky Akimbo, how you doing, homie? Kato saying, yeah, I don't know how to master track. I just send it through BandLab mastering. That's fair. That's fair. Just know that when you send your track through like a limiter at the end of what you're doing, if you leave the sub out of that equation, so send everything to an auxiliary channel and keep the 808 out of there, keep the sub out of there. It'll still go to the main. And then you can affect everything else in tandem on that other channel. Does that make sense? So that way, the biggest peaking signals are never affecting the rest of your mix. Okay, Ricky Akimbo. Empire says, this is exactly why I don't put my mix bus on the DAW's master track. I make a separate track to use as my second bus so I can bypass that chain and send things directly to the master if I want to. Bada bing. Exactly. Exactly. Got you a little bypass built in. Yeah, and you know, you can work pretty fluidly. Like you may make tracks where you don't need to do that. You can make yourself a couple of different templates and just ask yourself when you're starting up a project, like, hey, what's my intention here? Like, am I making something that's really simple, or is this going to be complex? Because if this thing has like more than 6 elements in it or whatever, I'm going to load the, my standard template. And if it's going to be really light, then I'm just going to load my light template. You know what I mean? Who's Morgan? Welcome in. Happy Friday. Sorry about blowing your mind. What was it? The routing thing? Ricky's here with Gamer Girl. Let's do this. Hey, is this who? Hey, is this you that we're seeing, Ricky? If so, it's good to see your face. It's a good analogy, Empire.
One. On our very first date, we played Baldur's Gate. Almost picked Explore, but she wanted hardcore. Made it past Act 1, so we chose to rerun it. Didn't finish the game, cause she's already done it. We're connecting, she really blows my mind. She let me know that she plays the final. Sometimes I could write a song about her. So that's what I did. I think that I'm in love with a gamer girl. She's player one and my brand new world. She said, meet me in the lobby. I'll make a party with you. You can be part of my crew. I think that I'm in love with a gamer girl. She's the one I've been waiting for. She said, meet me in the lobby. Let's play It Takes Two, a game just for me and you. Doritos and Monster for the second date. She chose to get the white one. Very basic. She wanted an all-night run of Dragon Age. I played a warrior and she played a mage. Yeah, she put a spell on me. She's got me skipping class and no. And she's got me on my knees. I give her everything in my inventory. All my glory, I give it all to you. I gave her my played Baldur's Gate. Almost picked Explore, but she wanted hardcore. Made it past checkpoint, so we go slowly running. Didn't finish the game, but she's already done it.
Oh, dude, I'm just thinking of a few different like groups that I feel like would probably resonate with where you are. They may not be ones that you're thinking of, um, or maybe even familiar with, but there's just a whole bunch of like old school stuff that you're reminding me of in this. Um, it's really fantastic, man. I love how liberated this feels. This feels like it's just pouring out of the soul, and it's all coming from a really good, refreshing, inspired frame of mind. It's really good, man. It's really good. Um, yeah, and the mention by name of specific games, like this is really going to resonate with people, right? Empire saying this has such a refreshing level of honesty, relatability, and lack of fear of being cringe. Like it doesn't take itself seriously at all in the best way. It's like a modern day Weezer. Yeah, it's very Weezer. Very Weezer. Yeah. Cringe is the enemy of fun. It is, absolutely. But seriously, like this is like this tells a real story. And that's what makes people listen to the lyrics of something, you know? Like again and again and actually really connect with it. So it's really great. I want a couple of things. I want the vocals just up on top just a little bit more throughout. When you get up there in your delivery, it is perfect. It feels great. Like the Empire saying a modern day Weezer, that felt really real. Like that really registers with me. But toward the beginning, it felt a little not reserved, but there were just points where I was like, oh man, I wish that small phrase was like 5 dB higher right there. So I think the solution is just a little bit of volume automation, probably more so in the beginning than in the end, because again, once you get excited, you're really controlling all of it quite well. I would also find a little bit more separation between the main and the backing vocal, so we can hear them distinctly in the mix just a little bit better. You could do a couple things. You can pan the backing vocal just a little bit more away from center. You can take out just a touch more of the low frequencies there. You could even accent them differently. Like maybe this one, maybe the backing vocal gets like a bump around like 1K and 5K or something like that. So it's getting like this kind of sweeter spot for the room, right, in the backing area. 150 vocal delivery here is just fantastic. This is just so good. Yeah, I want to toss out like all sorts of names of bands for you to go listen to appreciate, because what you've done here is really great. I love it. Torch says, hey, let's work. This is great. Yeah, I love this one. I love this one. Yeah, man, tiny little vocal accents, and don't change anything else. This is really great. It's good stuff, man. Yeah, man, that one, that's gonna stick with me for a bit. That's really good stuff. Okay, oh man, I've been saying Empire, it's Empyrean Audio. I was not looking at your name long enough, I'm so sorry. Empyrean. Let me just copy this. Get over to here. Oh wait, what did I just do? What was that? What did I just click on? Let me look and see what I actually just clicked on. Oh, that was weird. Ooh, hey, look at this. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Excellent. Okay, dude, this is fantastic. Let me just get over here. Notes so you can see what I was thinking while we were going through this one. Really good seeing some videos from you guys today. And Empyrean, again, sorry for screwing up your name. A Reaper sighting. It's fun to see some Reaper. This is Joe at Empyrean Audio saying, little work in progress, rough version of a track named When the Raven Swallows the Day. I've been working on for my project Fabled. No vocals currently, as I'm waiting to get the takes back from the vocalist, and I've not done any real work on the mix, so I'm waiting until I get the final vocal takes. Since I last worked on this, I've reworked my mix bus chain, so I want to update that, and I probably want to reamp the guitars as I dialed in some new tones recently that cut a lot better. Genre is somewhere kind of between post-metal and progressive metal. I think the bass can have a cutoff of around 50 hertz, 6 dB per octave curve. It just felt a little bit rumbly for what it is. Bring it down also just in volume, maybe like 6 dB or so. Bar 59, wanting better reverb balance on the hi-hat, and then just bring them a little bit towards center. Leave that far left spot open for the crash cymbals, because when the crash and the hats are going at the same time, there's just no separation there. And also, it makes for a better stereo image, I think, to have all these different voices in a very specific spot. Bar 73, assuming there will be screaming here, you'll need to make some room for that. And I can hear some really great vocals over the top of this. This is a very well made track. It really is. Watch reverb levels in general. It seems like it can be a bit much at times, or it is a bit much at times. Also, make sure that you always have an EQ loaded right after your reverb. There were some spots where I was like, I would scoop some around 500 here, and I would take out a couple more 100 hertz worth of low end. So I would be more bold in your decision making. Do not allow a bunch of low end energy through your reverb. You've already got a lot of low end energy in this track. And then also, knowing that you're going to have vocals in here, any frequencies that are just kind of hanging are going to be competition for that vocal track when it lands. So anything you can do to kind of shorten the decay time on the reverb or lower the presence of reverb for different things, scoop little spots in the EQ spectrum from your reverb channels whenever possible. And just kind of tighten up wherever you can, because that bloat will end up being something that you bump up against later when you've got vocals in there and now you're trying to get this all really balanced and loud. So that'll help you keep it really clean. Also, I looked up briefly and saw, I looked up at just the wrong time. I should have looked up like maybe 5 seconds earlier, but I saw an EQ, and I think it was on the drum bus, and the low end was open, and it was pretty big. And if that is the case, I would round that off. I would put a low end cut there. And I'm not exactly sure what I was hearing in that moment, so I would solo that. And if it's something really crucial down low, we got to think about the low end balance, but I don't think it really was. I think this was, yeah, I'm not sure what was on that drum bus. But if it was just a kit, then you definitely don't need all the big booming low frequencies down there. So I cut as much of that away as possible and really kind of focus on the sound of the kit itself, knowing that you already have a good deal of rumble in the track. And let's see what other people are saying here. Drums mostly GGD. Bass is Submission Audio Library. Got it. Well, you've humanized them really well. Tumba points this out, and I would agree with that. Yes. Empyrean saying, I feel that I mostly mix on headphones, so getting sub-relationship right is always tricky for me. So here's a piece of advice I would give you for that, is keep a meter open. Whenever you're thinking about your subs and whenever you're mixing in general, keep a meter open so you can see what your low end balance is. And eventually the visual correlation is going to settle in incredibly, like with great precision. You'll be amazed, because that's part of your sound that oftentimes you'll feel is off when you're looking at a signal before you even hear. It really depends upon how well your ears are trained and what you're listening on, but yeah. Empyrean saying, yeah, I usually tend to track with all effects on guitars to commit to sounds, but I didn't get around to closely EQing most of the ambient soundscapey guitar stuff, so there's definitely a lot of work to be done there. Yeah, I do use Sound ID, and I have a Prism loaded on my monitor effects channel all the time, so I can bring it up whenever I'm working on those. Oh, nice. Excellent. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Nice track. Would love to hear more from you in the future. We're here every Friday doing this. Although, oh, I should mention this a few times. Next week is a birthday week, and it's also, my kid is off school on Friday, so we're not going to be doing a Feedback Friday stream next week. We'll get back to it the following week, just like normal. We'll just miss each other for that one. And we'll figure out when we're going to do the birthday stream. I don't know that we're going to do it on my birthday. We're just going to figure out what day of the week. We might even push it to that next Friday. I'm not sure. But just going to put that out there a couple times during the stream today. Empyrean saying, I'll definitely send some more stuff in the future. Hopefully, we'll be able to send something with a more finished mix. Ooh, yeah. Well, work in progress is great, too, because we get insight into how you work, and that's priceless. It's priceless. That's when we can help, right? All right. Bez, let's listen to you. What'd you make this week?
I got a black ski mask, but I don't ski, but I snowboard. Dash an MC off piece. If one of you try violate me, you get a punch in the face with my front door key. Punch in the neck with my back door key. Box in the mouth with my X6 key. Box in the eye with a fob I used to log into my HSBC. Talk about banks, killing with G's. Run up in your gal's house with two of my G's. Get the money out, put the money in his mouth, then suffocate man with a back 2 G's. Suffocate man with a back 4 G's. Suffocate man, then I might just breathe. I'll bury man 2 foot shallow. Ain't got time to dig 6 feet deep. These MCs and rappers wanna chat about their syllables and their multis and their similes and all that shit. Then I come through with my ABC. Yeah, girls and man are like Jamie's D. Better pictures when they see me on street. Old school rude boy like Crazy T. All you man don't want it with me. I'm a bad rude boy, bad boy MC. Say my name, JME. Nostradamus can't see me. Yeah, Expelliarmus can't stop me. How can a man with a uni degree be busting up mic and chatting his grief? Cause the music originated and will always remain in the streets.
What about man don't care about all that? Blotting that. Man don't care about all that. Not allowed. Man don't care about all that. Knock him out. Man don't care about all that.
What about man don't care about all that? Drop him out. Man don't care about all that. Drop him out. Man don't care about all that. He's forgotten about. Cause man don't care about all that. Cause I'm the most immediate. He's just the most idiot. I'm doing local things, but we be the local geezers. Just look at my list of friends as he held them up with tweezers. Yeah, we used to move them white, yeah, we be the old school dealers. She's lighting up some senses, he's lighting up amnesias. I'm about to get it started, I'm about to get amnesia. Man, might have to move up, girl, man, might have to catch no breezes. Yeah, cause at the top it's just us, yeah, man, I had to quote Lil Reese's. Excuse me, what pardon? I had to just ask him. I am man, the Mac could just stalk him. Man's like, ooh, I'm back with that margin. And then even back in that garden where the blood clot, I'm back the Dun Gargan. Started off light, I think, and then dark and Hollow Man G and me and I'm talking. Killing a D, killing MC, Digestive, Cinnamon tea. Ain't no feeling in his shoes, cause they still on his feet. Man's down south hustling, with no good grilling his teeth.
What about man don't care about all that? Blotting that. Man don't care about all that. Not allowed. Man don't care about all that. Knock him out. Man don't care about all that.
What about man don't care about all that? Drop him out. Man don't care about all that. Drop him out. Man don't care about all that. He's forgotten about. Cause man don't care about all that.
Enjoy the beans, Empyrean. Don't let us hold you back. Bez, this is great. It sounds freaking fantastic. It sounds so good. Really good energy. Room for a little bit more backing vocal play around 105. I feel like you could just toss in a little fill, something kind of rapid. 135 would be cool to hear you play with panning right here. And I'm thinking like hard cut left right on those like syllables right there, bam bam, and then it's right back down the middle. That'd be kind of cool. Luffs are up a bit. It only is really problematic in the mix when the bass really hits, and the mix is really full. But there are a couple of spots where the vocal sample, like the vocal feels like it's just being pushed to its absolute limit. Like the only reason it's not louder is because it was falling apart. So I'd back away from that edge just a little bit and give us a little bit more room to turn it up ourselves. And then that way the integrity of the sound, the audio quality is actually right where you want it. Not gonna have it teetering right on the edge. Yeah, this is awesome. Vocal is AI stem maker, so I have issues cleaning the sample. That's okay. Yeah, there are some artifacts in there. That's fair. That's probably what we're hearing as far as the, like, it's being pushed a bit. So that's the type of thing that's disclosed when through that, like, more extreme volume, you know? Who's Morgan says, hey, I know a label that would sign this instantly if you're interested. Okay, so Bezos, there really isn't much you can do to clean those up. And here's why. Because this audio is being generated through a diffusion model. That means that they're basically starting with a block of white noise, and then they're going to carve away into this thing and manipulate it into what it needs to be. So there's always going to be a certain amount of, at least at its current fidelity, it's always going to have a bunch of kind of holes in it, so to speak, right? So kind of like an image that is grainy, the more you blow it up, the more you zoom in, the more you can see the graininess. And that's exactly what happens when we blow up these sounds, right? And we go past the kind of intended volume level of where it's actually balanced for. And then beyond that, you're going to start to hear more and more and more of that detail disclosed because it's getting closer and closer and closer to your eardrums, and you're getting more and more of that texture showing. So, listening to a gecko sample. Don't ask why. Why do you need an excuse to listen to a gecko sample? That's what I want to know. So it is either this or find a different vocal. Yeah, and I don't think that you have to find a different vocal, because this is the type of thing that you can just lean into on a track like this. The kind of rough and textured vocal is perfectly aligned with this genre. Now what you need to do is find the exact balance point for the loudness, because I feel like right now we're just hearing a little bit of that artifacting because it is so loud in that moment. And you could maybe play with it. You could maybe put something like soothe on there and see if you could hit those mid-low harmonics and kind of ease some of that rattle, and then maybe we wouldn't, the perception of the noisiness that we're hearing up higher wouldn't be as great. I don't know. I personally, I wouldn't sweat it too much. I really wouldn't. I think it's a really good track, and I think that you have to listen with great intention to pick up on these kind of small nuanced details we're talking about. And the large majority of people out there are just like, man, it's a great track. This was awesome. Didn't know your voice sounded like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, nature does have some cool sounds. Oh, there is no equivalent in stock Ableton for Soothe, because what it's doing is it's affecting the harmonics of a sound. It's kind of analyzing, or it's pulling up the resonance, I should say, in a sound. So like this kind of feedback quality. So it's taking wild harmonics and attenuating them. Only have Serum 2 and Sidechain. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't think you really need to mess with it too much. I don't think you need to worry too much about the artifacting of the vocals, because I think it sounds pretty good. I think the loudness is just kind of drawing our ear to it a little bit. But I think you're heading in the right direction here. It's a really great track. Chrome is here. Bezos, really good. Oh, show. All right, this is Outrage from Chrome, saying our first big collab release. It's harsh. Brace your ears. Okay. If that's the case, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to do it here. That way I have a little volume knob. Thank you for the heads up. Oh, wait, hold on a second. I'm going to do this in a different browser. They're going to play ads for me, and I don't want that. So, ooh, hey, Liv has a new track out. I'm going to spam the chat with her link because it deserves to be heard, and I'm just going to do that. Doesn't know that I'm doing this. She hasn't asked me to do this. Doing this. Go listen to this. Support Liv. Okay, so this one, Blush Angel, great name. Great name. Let's listen. That one was too much for a whole bunch of people. They scattered. All right. Let's turn this off. Okay. Chrome, new collab. I think the dialogue, the big God voice Go full God mode, get it up another 6 dB. Also, batch process this one. Keep the vocal channel out of that main compression chain. Because as soon as everything gets loud, other things, it will bring down the volume of the vocal. So keep that separate. It'll make it easier to isolate and keep up on top of the rest of the mix throughout the track. Otherwise, all I got to say is just utter destruction. Utter destruction. It's ugly and gross and disgusting and great. I'm sorry we scared your viewers. Nah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. I'm sure their ears and their speakers will heal eventually. So, Tomba says, just recovering from a concussion over here. I didn't expect that. Maslow Wayne. This one is you. Martin Garrix's Quantum Flip V6. Let's do this. Okay, this one has a couple of bigger things holding it back. First one is reverb. There's a lot of it, and it doesn't feel like it's very restricted. Whenever you put a reverb in, for all of the sounds in this one, I would just say, except for a couple of the sound effects, I'd say send those sounds to an auxiliary channel with reverb loaded on the auxiliary channel. So you're putting reverb on your sounds in a parallel fashion rather than directly on them in a serial fashion. And then make sure that you have an EQ directly after your reverb. Now, your reverb EQ is probably going to look pretty restrictive. I'll just put this here like this and say, if this is my EQ for reverb channel, I'm probably going to have, you know, something like this or something, right? I'm not going to allow the large majority of these low frequencies down here. They're not what give us a feeling of something in space in a full mix. If this was a sound on its own, sure, the whole sound can be reverberated and probably be okay. But when it's in a greater mix, the only thing that will happen from allowing these lower frequencies through with most sounds is that those frequencies will now collide with other frequencies that are trying to cut through in that same moment. So that's why we put an EQ after our reverb. And then also that helps kind of contour and shape the range of sound. It contours our sound because it makes the overall mix more collaborative with itself, if that makes sense. Every single time you reverberate or delay a signal, it allows that same frequency to exist in time and space longer than it normally would. And if that same sound is being delivered, say you have like an arpeggio or some kind of progression happening over time, each time you play that same voice in that same note, it's going to run into those frequencies. And we're not going to hear it clearly anymore. We're going to hear it in some way. It's going to be obfuscated. It's going to be affected. And you stack that up enough times with enough instances of instruments and reverb and notes floating around in space together, and you end up getting muddiness and a lack of clarity and definition in your sound. So loud. This thing is also quite loud. I would bring it down quite a bit. I would aim for probably neg 14 to neg 12 at the very loudest on this one. The kick has some resonance in it and some boxiness. It also has quite a bit of reverb. I would bring all of that stuff down and leave your kick a little bit more focused and try and keep that kick kind of focused in the center. Bass down a good 10 to 12 dB. Right now it's really loud. I would probably layer the clap that you have right now. They're all in the right places, but I think if you doubled it up and also took out a little bit of low end and put a little more high end into that clap, it would feel a little bit more balanced with the timbre of the overall track. And then lastly, just volume balance and automation. There can be a little bit more volume change over time around points of transition and areas where you want our attention to be somewhere specific. Volume automation is probably the best way about going and doing that. All right, that's what I got for you here. I am saying, so you're saying use automation on the reverb to reset it? No, I would go in there and I would make hard changes to the reverb. I would bring down the level of the reverb, the wet balance of the reverb. And I would also put an EQ after your reverb and restrict a lot of the frequencies. And then that way, the reverb won't be as big and boomy. And then the rest of your music won't be competing with the space that it's in, if that makes sense. J-Light, it is you. Maslow, that was a good track. I hope you bring more by. J-Light, 29. This one's called Maybe.
Girl, we been through a rough patch. Had a good run, don't let it change that. We've been through so many things. Don't listen to them, you're my dream. What's there to talk about? Figure out, argue now. Treat you like a God's hands now. Kicked me when I was down. No competition, can't see any itching. The woman will treat me right. God walk up and say I can't leave, can't do it. We got our theme music. Can't talk, already know it. I got you through thick and thin. Who am I singing for? It's you. I'm not sprung, just moderate. Nah, I'm not buying it. Was there a talk about? Figure out, argue now. Treat like a lady. Be my wife, maybe. Was there a talk about? Figure out, argue now. Treat like a lady. Be my wife, maybe. Treat you like a queen, girl. I'll treat you like a queen, girl. Girl,
Yo, J-Light, this is pretty tasty. I'm going to go back just a little bit. I'm going to listen to this last little bit, just a bit more. Give me just a second.
treat you like a queen, girl. I'll treat you like a queen, girl.
Yo, okay, J-Light, there's a lot of good stuff in here. Lovely vibe in the intro. I think the loudness can come down just a little bit. You don't want this one to be pushed in any way. You want this one to just be felt, right? Kick down a few, EQ some of the sub frequencies out of it too. Right now it's hitting and it has kind of this low end kind of plosive oomph to it. And I don't think we want that. Like this thing needs to be like soothing our soul, you know? Bass down 5 dB, backing vocal up 6 to 8 dB. That snare stick can come down, probably a good 5 dB or so. Tighter EQ on your perks. Right now they feel a little flabby down low. They feel like you can roll off some low end. Better wet balance with your delay and your reverb effects. Right now it feels like the wet balance is just up a little bit high. And also, you should probably shave some of the low frequencies out of your reverb. I didn't hear too much problem with the high frequencies, but it did feel like you can take a couple hundred more hertz of low end off of your reverb channel. Once you do that, all of your track will feel much more cohesive and your vocal will come out just a little bit more powerfully and sit a little bit better on top. Drum balance will feel a little bit better. This is a good track. This is a good track. A zesty lemon track you got stuffed away, you say. Think lemon cheesecake. Tomba says, there's emotion in these lyrics that just need to be broken free out of the box a little bit more, in my opinion. Yeah, the other thing I would say, I mean, we've talked mix-wise. In regards to the vocals, I think that the delivery of the vocals, if you were to do this 6, 7, 8 more takes, something tells me that there's part of you that's going to loosen up a little bit, and that delivery is going to start changing a little bit more over time. Does this feel kind of true? Like maybe when you are on the spot for the performance, you're feeling a little bit tighter than you are than, like, say, when you're just walking down the street and singing and you don't think anyone's listening to you or whatever, or in the shower or whatever. If that does have like a ring of truth, if that resonates with you, then go back and do this take like 20 more times and comp it and see what exactly are you hearing in the different takes, because eventually on one of those takes you're going to let loose in a spot and it's going to open up something for you. You're going to be like, yeah, that right there, that's the sweet spot for this track. Yeah, you do feel that? Okay, then do that. I think that you probably have a better delivery in a couple dozen different spots. I bet you probably do. And if you do a dozen or a couple dozen more takes of this thing and you listen back to it, each one of those things, each one of those takes is going to be just a little bit different from one another. And I don't know if you know what comping is, but when you just take a little snippet from here and a little snippet from that recording and a little snippet from this recording and you bring them all together in your DAW, that's what comping is. And that is exactly what happens in the studio most times. So not many people go in there and nail it in just one delivery with all of the energy and emotion and everything all the way through. Most folks have got to get like a ton of takes out to get all of that. All right, so that's where we are with that one. It's good stuff, Jaylai. I would love to hear more from you. It's a good vibe. Tomba saying, yeah, man, it feels like you got more in the tank. Really nice track. Udi! It is you. Shall we? This one's Mental Focus.
Don't get lost.
Hey, Josh, we listened to you earlier. I dropped some feedback on your track.
Just eyes on me. Don't get stuck. Just follow me. Don't get lost. Just eyes on me. Don't get stuck, just follow me. Snow kicks in on 1, 2, 3. Are you high? It has to be. Don't get lost, just eyes on me. Don't get stuck, just follow me. Snow kicks in on 1, 2, 3. Don't get lost, just eyes on me.
Dude, this is fun. I love the textures. I love the textures in this one. The vocal feels completely unobstructed. Like in the beginning, it's just like firing out of the speakers like a cannon. Really nice arc. That long form transition there. 143. I want a little more top end magic on the synth, just a little more like mid high accent on that synth, so we can feel that energy just a little bit more, even at those lower volumes. 214. I feel the restraint. I feel like there's something ahead of us. 240, nice transition. Love the timbre that we drop into here. At 254, the texture on this guy, the big synth is great, but also maybe a bit much on some speakers. It might just stand out more than you want or expect it to, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So if that is the case, like it could be an adjustment of as much as like 8 dB. You might just have to play it on a couple of systems to see how you're feeling about it. Because it's going to poke right out. It's going to poke right out. American Josh Dude saying, I am so sorry that this was my last submission and I wasn't here to talk to you about it. Last submission? What? What is this last submission stuff? Gonna miss you. I'll see you again next album. Oh man, you're just walking away until you got another album's worth of stuff? Well, if you feel like getting feedback on anything while you were actually working on the tracks for that next album, come on by. It's good stuff, Josh. I hope it all goes well for you. Untrain, welcome in. Happy Friday to you. Thanks for the follow. Rokusai says, you are not allowed to do drugs in the gym. This is proper drugs music. Yeah, Tomba. Come on, man. It's a culture we got to protect here, man. Scruples. It is doing all the right things, right, Tomba? Yeah. Rokusai says, why are there so few people here tonight? I don't know. It's been a smaller stream. Absolutely. Absolutely a really good track. Music Dan! I'm doing all right. How are you? Happy Friday to you. Tomba saying, my tinnitus enjoyed that. Torch Nation saying, nice. Ludi saying, textures are a big struggle. Finding the right balance is difficult. That is a fact. That's a fact and a half. You know, it's really about the ease at which certain types of textures and frequencies cut through a mix no matter what else is going on in the mix. I play with textures enough to know that that one is probably sticking out too much, or more than you realize that it is. I do that to myself all the time. All the time. That's a really good track. Udi, first production day. Hey, have you been taking a break? I hope you're doing well over there, dude. Untrained here saying, what's up, gang? How you doing, man? Happy Friday. Lee Nook. Yo, how are you? Ludi saying, Omab, thank you for your feedback. Can you post it in a thread? Helpful as always. You bet. You bet. It's always good to hear you, brother. Hope you've been well. Zendrix. Where are we here? All right. Zendrix. Got one sitting here called Seventh. Let's go listen to it.
tryna do some shit these niggas haven't. Saying quit rapping, a little bit of me spazzing. I'm flying like a dragon, these niggas steady capping. Blowing like I'm on it, but they calling me the captain. Tryna find a way to get a girl out of the trap. I'm so cool, yes I know I'm coming from the south side. How the fuck I get so old? The days flying by. Gotta get it on my own. Gotta get it on my own. I'm not good at the love songs. Fell away a long time ago. I'm sick of being solo. Made me feel like I had nowhere to go. They don't do it like me. 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 I'm just about a 7. Think I need a reverend. Look at how I'm living. Will I go to heaven? Popping all as a pain. I feel like I'm in heaven. Lately I've been trying to do some shit these niggas haven't. Saying quit rapping, I whip it, I be spazzing. I'm flying like a dragon, these niggas steady capping. Flowing like I'm on a boat, they calling me the captain. Tryna find a way to get a bird out of the trapping. They don't even know I made this beat up on my phone. I be smoking by my lonely, you cannot get involved, G. Why a nigga moving, they gon' say I'm so saucy. I don't want your shorty, you can have it, she too bossy. Smoke a blunt, I'm flying in a spaceship. Tryna get a space coupe, and I'm tryna race it. I got all these memories and I cannot erase it. I'm not really cool with niggas, I don't do the fake shit. I don't do the fake shit. I don't do the fake shit. I don't do the fake shit.
Yo, Zendrix, this is good. I think make the 808 a little bit more narrow so it's not hitting all the way across on the sides, so we can hear the other synth that you have cooking in the mix. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I can hear that it's there. I do hear this saw pad, the one that kind of goes up in pitch, and if that has been running through, and I think it has, then it's probably that element, and it's probably just a tough. It's just a tough thing to mix in this track because the nature of the super saw is just tough to mix in a track. So here's what I would do. I would probably set it off to one side a little bit more, try to isolate it a little bit more, and then use it more as an accenting fill kind of guy. When it's sustained, it's going to be difficult. It's going to muddy up the mix, and it's going to cause a little bit of confusion, make it a little bit harder to focus on exactly what's happening musically. And the reason is because it has basically all of the frequencies in the spectrum present. So it's competing with all of the sounds in your mix. That's why the entirety of the mix sounds different when it is present versus when it is not present. So you could look at a couple of different things. You could put a different pad in there and see how you like it. If you really like the super saw pad, you might actually need a bigger one, and you might need to just isolate it a bit more. Like I said, maybe put it off to one side, or maybe just let it be fully open like that, but use it as more of like a fill agent. But there's going to have to be some decision making there, some give and take there if you're going to use the super saw. If you go with another pad, I'm sure you can find something pretty easily to fill that space, to fill that kind of tonal area that you want to. And then lastly, there was just kind of this kind of repetitive nature to the beat where I wish there was just a little bit more of an organic kind of human touch to it, where it wasn't always the same pattern, and perhaps maybe even resampled in spots so we could resequence or re-trigger in some fun ways. I just felt like the underlying beat of this could have just a little bit more interest and perhaps even texture to it. But I wasn't able to type all of that in the time that I had, so because I can't type. Okay, Roku Sai saying, hey, that kick pattern is a bit too busy. I think it'd be nice touch if there were some stops here and there instead of constantly repeating, hey. Untrained, how long are you doing this for today? We'll do this probably for another half hour or so. Ish, something like that. Visor. Lenoctra, welcome in. Happy Friday to you. Double Visor. Visor saying, I made this song for a Twitch streamer called Doug Doug. He does these charity events each year for a sea otter named Rosa on her birthday. Sadly, she passed away recently, but he's still doing the charity streams, except this time it's for the whole aquarium. and I finally decided to participate in the art submission this year. I made a track for Rosa called Rosa the Eternal that uses AI vocals, and of course everything else is 100% by me. Unfortunately, any sort of AI submissions aren't accepted, so I had to make an instrumental version that I'll submit instead. Also, this remix has the new master chain. Ooh, nice. Oh yeah. Pfizer seeing a little bit more sidechain as a request from Roku and from Untrain on that one. Rosa the Eternal. Freaking epic, man. A sea otter has never had such a big send off. Man. Plus, laser eyes. So that's cool. I do like Roku Sai's feedback in the chat. For the vocal, I would love to hear it just a touch more forward. I know that this is just made for this thing, and this isn't all being released, but just in general, just as a bit of feedback, I'd love to hear that sitting on top of everything and presented in this feeling that it has a little bit more middle. Yeah, I think that's really all it is. Just a tiny little accent. So if you spend a little time listening critically, you'll find it. By just EQ, not multiband. Because you don't want to bring up more noise. You just want to accent what is audible already. Absolutely. Hey, I am going to go hit the bathroom really quick, and I'm going to hit play on this. Don't fall asleep while I'm gone, because that wouldn't be good. You do risk falling asleep listening to this. I don't know what I was thinking when I made this morning before the stream started. All right, I'll be back in just a minute. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, this is Gil Boyd.
Oh, hi,
You
Gil.
can follow my simple instructions.
Yes.
You're about to enjoy a very pleasant and a very beneficial experience.
Okie dokie.
First, be sure that you will not be disturbed. Second, remove your shoes or any apparel that could interfere with your physical comfort in any way. Third, now stretch out on your back with your legs separated so that no part of your calves or thighs are touching. Feet separated at least 8 to 10 inches. Arms extended loosely and limply alongside your body. Palms facing downward. Fingers limply outstretched. Once we begin, you can help best by remaining quiet and passive. Our first goal is for you to become unaware of your body. And you can best achieve that goal by avoiding movement. The first thing, then, that I want you to do is to fix your eyes at a spot on the ceiling overhead. Pick out an imaginary spot and stare at that spot without moving a muscle. Now take a deep breath and fill up your lungs. Exhale slowly. Sleep now. Now a second and even deeper breath. Take in all of the air that your lungs can hold. Exhale slowly. Sleep now. And now a third deep breath. Exhale. Sleep now. Now let your eyelids close down. Now your eyelids are closed down. Please leave them closed down until I ask you to open them again. You will always be able to open your eyes unless I were to give you a direct command and tell you that your eyelids were locked closed. I don't intend to do that. Hypnosis is a state of mind and not a state of eyelids. Now I want you to mentally picture and imagine that you are looking at the muscles in the...
How'd you guys do with that? Who fell asleep? All right. Get back to it, shall we? This next one is from Torch Nation. Wait a minute. That didn't work at all. That did. All right, here we go. This one is called Self-Argument. Let's roll. Torch saying, I almost went to sleep, damn near. Nice. All right, here we go. Self-argument.
Sometimes I'm scared, sometimes I wanna get away from here. I've been trying hard not to feed into what I hear. Whispers in the air, telling me life's not fair, saying that the end is near. Well, is it near? I've been trying hard just to really be a star. I've been going far, mama tell me believe in who you are. Believe in who you are. Believe in who you are. All this shit in my head, do you see? All these problems, I can solve it. It's a million and one of me. And my conscience, I can stop it. Get it? All of these voices in my head sounding different. I'm trying to run up and get all the chicken. You trying to argue, do all of that bitching. Knowing damn well I be going the distance. Oh, do you notice? I'm trying to live in the moment. You told me this was you wanted. You took my heart, started running. Stole my heart, broke it up, girl, you playing with me. Running clutches and bus run away with me. This is love, not less what you're saying to me. Damn, the voice is way too much. Sometimes I'm scared, sometimes I wanna get away from here. I've been trying hard not to feed into what I hear. Whispers in the air, telling me life's not fair, saying that the end is near. Well, is it near? I've been trying hard just to really be a star. I've been going far, mama tell me believe in who you are. Believe in who you are. Believe in who you are.
Rockstar lifestyle, man, I might not make it. Wake up drunk as fuck with my face on the pain. These drugs make me feel too amazed. They let it hate me like I'm Rain. I bring the thunder in. Would've thought my name really was fucking rain. Red like the government. These millions I'm finna chase. I'ma take my time, I'm learning pages. Me and Torch taking over the nation. Put my foot on the gas, bitch, I'm speed race. When I'm about to ask, boy, I'm a spade. Put on my mask like I'm Darth Vader. You can't go where we're going. You should know that my whole team really rolling.
Bitch, you know that we rollin'. Coming from the hood, so I'm glizzy toes. But you niggas already know this. Niggas left me for dead, now I gotta show 'em. Got a yoke on my hip, but fuck around and blow it. I been leaning too much, I been missing these poses. I been going up, and I know that you know this. Bitch, you been going all over the country. I'm still in the trap, getting dirty money. I'm still the same nigga, hop out with 100. I'm still the same nigga, taking dope in my aunt. I was broke back then, and they thought it was fun. Tryna run from my past, but it's steady hunting. These thoughts in my brain, and I'm steady wondering. Sometimes I'm scared, feel like they coming for me.
Sometimes I'm scared, sometimes I wanna get away from here. I've been trying hard not to feed into what I hear. Whispers in the air, telling me life's not fair, saying that the end is near. Well, is it near? I've been trying hard just to really be a star. I've been going far, mama tell me believe in who you are. Believe in who you are. Believe in who you are.
Hey, yo, Torch, Dread, JB, what we on, man? Doing shit big, for real. Torch, JB, Dread gonna be the biggest. Ain't nothing gonna be able to stop that. MGC for life. Torch Nation for life. Everybody already know what's going on, for real. Nigga gon' make it big. Ain't nobody gonna be able to say shit about Torch. All these niggas hate, doing all that extra shit, nah. That shit over with. Torch taking over. Yeah, we back now.
I want to go back and listen to this around the 1.5 minute, 1 minute.
All of these voices in my head saying that the end is near. What I hear. Believe in who you are. You took my heart, started running. Stole my heart, broke it up, girl, you playing with me. I need to feed into what I hear.
I've been leaning too much, I've been missing these poses. I've been going up.
Believe in who you are.
Okay, so the first. Okay, so just want to keep these vocal channels right. I'd back off the loudness a little bit on this first vocal channel. 808 can come down a good probably 12 dB in most spots. I'd bring the cutoff up to 40 hertz, 6 dB per octave curve. So you keep the rumble, but just bring the presence way down. 150, move the backing vocal off to the right and keep it, just give it more distance, because keeping it so close to the main vocal makes it hard to hear both of them clearly when they're going off at the same time. 217, the second vocal that's on the left, I'd move it away from center just a little bit more, and I'd bring the volume down just a smidge, and I'd keep that current volume level for peaks, for like accenting, like as it goes into the chorus or... Excellent, excellent. This is all a freestyle rough draft. Okay, yeah, so then this is probably going to turn out really great. I would also recommend, just like I recommended a couple tracks back, to do the same exact vocal performance several more times and record all of them in your DAW. And most DAWs allow for quick take comping, right? So you can just create a loop region and you can sing through that verse like several different times, and it'll loop through and record all of them. Then you stop that recording, then you can just highlight the sections that you want from each one of those takes and comp all of that together. And I think that might be the way you end up getting the best thing put together here, simply because you've got a couple of different vocalists and then you've got a couple of different treatments for the vocals. So you're probably going to get slightly different outcomes from slightly different inflections and whatnot. So I would have a play with how you are accenting different syllables when you do this, and that will actually give you something a little bit different to play with from one take to the next. Because you never actually know how something's actually going to end up working out. So even if it feels just like a little silly in the moment while you're doing it, do it. It's really good. It's good stuff. It's got a solid vibe. I can see this doing quite well when it's done. I would love to hear more from you. Who is Morgan? It is you. Don't buzz here. Beep boop. How you doing, homie? Copy. That's what I'm here to do. Good stuff, Torch. All right, this is Morgan. This one's called A Lifetime. What's going on here, SoundCloud? What? A non-responsive playhead here. Let me try this again. Better. Okay. Um, really nice texture on the synth around a minute. I would lean into that. Or actually, that's sorry, 15 seconds. That's like very first thing we're hearing. I would lean into that. I feel like it's some good foreshadowing for everything that comes after. 40 seconds in, nice filter twist there. Felt good. Nice resonance level. 49 seconds. I'd use some volume automation in this section here. So, going back like 15 seconds or so. These long sustained notes, there's multiple voices. I would love to hear more of them disclosed discreetly over time. One way you can do that is just to use volume automation, different volume automation on each one of those layers, and allow those things to kind of shift and change over time a little bit presence-wise, and that'll draw our attention to each one of those individual voices over time. And then also you can play with panning just a little bit. It'd be kind of an interesting thing, actually, if you had a couple of things that weren't too low in the register that were actually moving a little bit out toward the side just a little bit more as they're being disclosed or something, just so we can feel as though there's some evolution taking place in this moment, because there is this kind of stirring kind of intention that's being felt right there. And then just in general, because limiting reduces dynamic range, I would advise you to back off of a lot of the limiting and instead try to get to your loudness through saturation. It's up to you what kind of distortion you use, but use more saturation. It's going to develop more harmonics in your sound. It's going to make them easier to hear. You're not going to rely on cranking up the volume to hear them. And that's going to protect a lot more than just dynamic range. It also protects the relationship of like proximity and the feeling of closeness or distance from one element to the next. And it also allows your reverb to make sense. Try batch processing this mix, the drums together, and then the basses, and then the other synths, and then bring them all together. I feel like the drums just feel like they're not reaching their peaks. Like their peaks are not being honored. So I would mix them separately and bring them in. Really lovely moment at 258. Kind of want an atmospheric element here in some reverb. And then just let that gently resolve over several seconds. So there's just this kind of veil that slowly dissipates after that transition. It'd feel really nice. You do have groups. Okay, so then it feels to me like the drums are not fully reaching like a real polished peak. Like they're not hitting in the, say, 1 to 5K range as much as I'm expecting. And then again, probably 200-ish. There just kind of seems to be a little bit of oomph that I'm wanting. Let's see. Who is next? Vicky! Vicky is next. Let's see if Vicky has brought more chaos our way or what. Vicky, how you doing? Oh yes, of course I can save that text. Just 1 second. Oops, nope, not for you. There you go. There you go, Morgan. Really good stuff. Please bring more. That's good, really. Do it every Friday. Right, this is Vicky, 17 plus 8. The second and third are, it's two songs, but it was linked, so maybe you could play it as it goes on. Okay, excellent. Oh, we got video. Hold on just a second. Do we? No, we don't. So for rock out, I don't know. Let's see how much. Oh, why don't you just drop it? There's only a couple of tracks. There's only a couple of tracks between here and there. You should drop it. And I should make mention, we're not going to have Feedback Friday next week. My kid is off school. It's also birthday next week for me. I'm not sure when the birthday stream is actually going to happen. I might just push it to the next week so we can do it on a Friday because it's usually a bit more fun on Fridays. But just so you guys know, I just want to put that out there. We're not going to have a Feedback Friday next week. I need to make that mention in the Discord as well. Rock, yeah, you are welcome. Vicky, that was great. That was great. And you said that the second one is in the description or something? Let's see. See the second one. Oh, it's on a playlist. Oh, this one right here. It's the One More Tape, the prologue, right? Because we listened to the first one, the Augustus, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. So this one then. Perfect. Wonderful. Okay, so I think this is cool. I do think that the loudness is a bit jarring when this one comes in from the second one. So if they're going in order here, I think I'd bring the volume down on this one, honestly. The first one is just all over the place, and it needs to be because you're like down on the street level and there's just utter chaos with all the screaming and sirens and shooting and stuff. The second one, it just forces you to lean in. And then the ticks really just kind of disclose that you're still aware of the full range of sound. We haven't gone deaf or anything because this is directly after that deafening soundscape, right? And then the third track comes in and that ticking is really big. Yeah, I think that should come down. I think that should come down because I feel like we're still going to be very much in shock because this second track is only 2 minutes. I think we're all going to be very much in shock still from the first track. And it almost needs to feel kind of shell-shocked as well. Like the audio kind of needs to feel shell-shocked as well, I think, when we first come into this. I don't know, that's just me. The isolated perspective is super fantastic. I love it. Love it. Ooh, yeah. Vicky, you are welcome. Yeah, I love the aesthetic, dude. I love the project. It's absolutely fantastic. Really good stuff. Josh. American Josh, dude. All right, let's play this one. Oh, awesome. Some cologne commercial. Excellent.
What makes someone's work a work of art?
Why don't you tell me, Wix?
Art takes countless ideas.
Sorry, it took too long.
Well, you and I know, yes, you and I know our love's gonna end, our love's gonna end. Ask your mom, your dad, your best friend. Cause we have too many fights, we have too many fights, we cry too many tears, so many tears. The days turn into weeks, the weeks turn into months and years. Still you and I know, yes you and I know our love's gonna end, our love's gonna end. Ask your mom, your dad, your best friend. My best friend, you're my best friend.
Oh no, this is the one we heard this morning.
My best friend.
Yeah, this is the same one. It gives me a life, right? Yeah, I'm going to keep playing it. Because Josh said that he missed it this morning. And he's here, but I don't see him responding. I don't know if he's actually listening.
My best friend. My best friend.
It's happy.
Oh, you're my best friend. My best friend. You're my best friend. Till we have too many fights. We have too many fights. We cry too many tears. So many tears. We've been together for the years. Still you and I know, yes you and I know our love's gonna end, our love's gonna end. Ask your mom, your dad, your best friend. My best friend, you're my best friend. My best friend, you're my best friend. You're my best friend, oh you're my best friend. My best friend, you're my best friend. So let's fight all our fights, let's fight all our fights, let's cry all our tears, all of our fears. Together we can face all of our fears. So let's stay together, yes, let's stay together until the very end, until the very end. Thanks to your mom and dad, you're my best friend. My best friend, you're my best friend. My best friend, you're my best friend. You're my best friend, oh, you're my best friend. My best friend, you're my best friend. Until the end.
Squirrel! Dude, if this was a song about a dog, please put in barks. That would be awesome. Oh, Josh, I think you missed your song a couple times, though. All right. Is this Lenok or is it Linooch? Saying, it's a demo, but I want to mix it to final. It is a collab with my friend. He's doing one part and I do the second. I know second is messy. Oh, good. I know that song is great, right, Tomba? That is a feel-good one. That is a feel-good one. Oh, Alan Goat, we will probably be getting to it, but I'm going to close the queue again because we are closed. All right. Let's go. Oh, excellent. Sounds good, Rock Out. All right, here we go. All right, here's a couple of things I got for you. Luffs, I'd bring the loudness down quite a bit. Aim for around neg 12 luffs, maybe neg 10 peak. 123, unexpected timbre change. I love it. Great textures. I'm hearing some compression on some of these sounds that's kind of muting them, kind of holding back their peaks from actually being heard. And I'm also hearing just like some muddiness and obfuscation and some competition between some sounds. So I would go through every single sound in this track and listen to each one on its own and in the greater mix so you can get full context as you're making changes. But see what you can get away with removing in a lot of these individual sounds. So where to start? In the spots where you have the most number of sounds popping off at the same time, that's a really good place to start. But in general, an EQ should probably be on each one of the sounds in your project. And a good place to start with each sound is to take out the unnecessary low-end frequencies. They're going to be the ones that mess up the clarity and stuff the quickest. So only leave that stuff in the elements that actually truly need it. And start to attenuate or remove frequencies where you can from other sounds. It sounds to me like in some of these sounds, there might be room to remove some frequencies around 250 or 350 hertz. Those would be some mid-low elements in general. There were also a couple of elements that I thought could probably have around 500 hertz scooped out just a little bit. Those were kind of pad or more like sustained type instruments. So just kind of go through and spend a little bit more time with EQ and try to be just a little bit more judicious, just to be a little bit more bold in all of your EQ decision making. And then that, I think, will make just a little bit more room for each one of your sounds. And then as you get to these really full spots in the mix, they won't feel as overwhelmed. It's a fun track. It's a really good track. It's got a lot of fun stuff going on. Hey, Mike, how's it going, man? Thomas saying, I see this being an Instagram reel, Cars on Vids. Or, yeah. You know what I'm trying to say. It's late in the day. Hey, you are welcome, man. You are welcome. I hope it helps. I hope it helps. I hope it vibes with you. Bring by more. That was really awesome. I'd love to hear more from you. Untrain. Let's do this. This is called Dimension 6. like the little radio chatter there at the end. I almost feel like there should be just a little bit more time for the outro there. All right, Untrained. Nice changes there in the intro, around 56 seconds. I'd bring the sub down a touch. I'd also put the low end cutoff up to around 40 hertz, maybe 12 dB per octave curve on that. 128, brightness of the claps is a little big. I'd bring the claps down a few in the mix, volume-wise. I would also reduce the reverb presence as well. I'd also probably take the decay time on that reverb down just a little bit. So overall, it feels like they're just a little too bright, a little too much, and a little too long. Like hanging a little bit too long. But I might not feel that same way once the level and the EQ is done too. So one step at a time. 206, nice move centering that ARP that was panning back and forth. You could align a reversal or a suckback element there to accent that move at the point of centering. That. Yeah, this was good. It was a good, fun track. I would say the same to you. Bring back more. Bring by more. We're here every Friday doing this. Except for next Friday. We're not going to do Feedback Friday next Friday. OIV. All right, let's go check this. Crystalline Creek Waves, Act 1, Trio Triodo. Okay. Hey, I appreciate the music, man. It's good hearing you, Untrained. Topher Rockout saying, I'm here, and this is for my game. Ooh, okay. Let's listen. Okay, this is fantastic. I love music. I love it. It's great. I think the only thing that needs to be done is to fix the mix. I think your arrangement is great, and the sounds that you're working with in your palette is great. I'm actually going to read what Rokusai is saying here. I have not read this all yet. I would take quite a bit of low end out of the track to keep space for the sound effects of the game. You want to hear those nice splooshy sounds without the music stepping on it. Yeah, that's a fair bit of my feedback as well. This is fun and full of great energy. It needs some volume balancing to bring it home. This feels a bit muddy and flat in its current form, but luckily, fixes are pretty simple. I think that it comes down to three things for me. Okay, one is the correct volume level. Some sounds just seem like they're a little low for where they are in that moment in time. And you don't need to keep the volume level the same throughout the track. You can use automation to make that volume go up and down over time. So more volume automation to create more change over time. That's the first thing. The second thing is EQ. EQing your sounds more tightly, removing whatever kind of low frequencies from each sound that you can would really help quite a bit. And then especially if you're going to reverberate any of those sounds, there's some reverbs present in here, put an EQ after that and make sure that you're taking out most of the frequencies from that. And that way you don't have high and low frequencies that are hanging around in the air running into the new notes that are spewing out. Okay. The other thing is this feeling of luster with some of the sounds. Some of them, boom, great already. They've got a really nice shine, or they're square synths, so they don't need any because they've already cut through the mix without any problem. But for those that feel like they're just kind of lacking shine or luster or some kind of polish, you can use a little bit of overdrive and target a high frequency, and it's going to generate some more harmonics in that sound. It's going to make it way easier to hear, and it's going to help it kind of sparkle up high. Those are the big things in this one. I think that if you attend to those three main categories of things and then listen back to this with a critical ear or bring it back for more feedback or however you want to roll, you're going to be much, much closer to your finishing point. Definitely. Sega solos. Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. Really good stuff. It's very fun. And if you're not already familiar with him, there's a guy who streams on Twitch called Nate the Sound Ninja that you would probably enjoy. I'm going to put this into a thread for you really quick. Move on. Alan Goat. All right. Stu Hollis and Minecraft jukebox vibes type beat. Sweden. All right, let's listen to this. They are straight instrument samples from games. I don't know if Soundation has overdrive. Does distortion count? It does. Just don't put anything on there that will be like really gritty and like angry sounding. Try to find something that you can add just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of, and it helps kind of brighten the sound and bring it to life a little bit. It usually doesn't take very much. All right, let's listen to this one. Sorry, I got to turn this off and copy the link and take it over here. It's too loud. Also, you guys got to go listen to that when you're done. Okay, I'm going to hit play. I'm just going to bring down the volume. Okay. Okay, Alan, go loudness down. The sub was way too loud. And if you are just starting out and you don't have a way to monitor all of this stuff in a really good way to where you can hear all these levels, make sure that you are looking at meters and that you are kind of visually being aware of how strong your signals are. Most meters are going to go into a red color if you're going too hot, and just take to heart that that actually is affecting the sound of your music too. And if you want to get a distorted sound, use distortion rather than clipping like that. So bring the sub way down, way down. I don't know, maybe like 20 dB down. And then make sure you have a way to monitor it, like I said. And visually is a really good way to start. And then as far as the song making goes, you've got a really good start. I think here's a few things you can keep in mind as you continue to grow. More change over time. That's the big one. It's going to be pattern changes, adjustments to an ARP over time, the general delivery of loops, like can it be resequenced? Can it be retriggered? Can the loop be resampled in some way? The same thing goes for the beats as well, especially if you are working with loops. You definitely want to change those up over time so people can't actually predict what's going to be happening, or else they don't really have the same kind of satisfaction from music that you would normally expect, right? You got to keep them guessing just a little bit, just a little bit. Let's see if there's anything else in the chat here. Kayarumi, if you want to bring it around the next time, I will. We are wrapping up for today. Yeah, okay. So one other thing that I was hearing in this that you should be aware of is that the sounds can make better use of space. Use panning to keep your kick bass right in the center, but then start to move other things away from center. And it's up to you where you put those things, but you do want to kind of space them out. And part of this is just about finding a little spot for each thing. And that way, you know, just picture each thing as needing a person to play an instrument to make that sound, and that they all actually have to fit on a stage together, right? They can't all be in the same spot, and they can't all be lined up in a straight line, or else people won't be able to see everyone in the band. So you got to spread them out so everyone can be heard and seen. And then see what your music sounds like to you. I think it's probably going to help. All right, that is it for this one. I am not going to be streaming next Friday for Feedback Friday because my kid will be out of school and I will be playing with him. But I will be here on Monday and Wednesday. And my birthday is next week, but I'm not sure that we'll be doing the birthday stream next week, unless you guys talk me into it. But I will see. Oh, and Tomba, yeah, Tomba has asked, hey, why don't you play some music? I will play some music. Would you like to hear sound or music? Let's do this. Let's just find something together really quick, shall we? Here, let's go into... Where should we go into? The Logic? How about we go into... Good questions. Music. You want music? Play something I don't like. I don't go back and listen to a lot of my stuff all that often. Kind of like a shark. I'm always moving forward. I'm not sure which one this is. If you're wanting to find more stuff like that from me, you could always just go and pull some up over here in the Audio Design Desk library. You can find a lot of that stuff in the sounds .add.app marketplace. And if you were to just like click on me, you'll see, if we click on this, you'll see there's like thousands probably. Okay, so there's 51 different sound packs and 6,335 tracks that you can listen to from me in here if you really want to. And there's just a bunch of stuff. If you want more like that, here's a whole album of just fright. And these are like, oftentimes they're kind of frightening, actually. Something's up with the audio quality on that playback. It seems a little cloudy to me. Yes, that would be a French horn dubbed into a bass. Yes, absolutely, it would be. Thank you very much for noticing. So yeah, I do a lot of different stuff, but most of it ends up being kind of on the cinematic side, and it varies. It varies greatly. Like one day or one hour of the day, I might be making something like blood curdling and truly horrific, and then 15 minutes later, I might be just making something like angelic and truly ambient and just will melt your soul. You know what I'm saying? So it really just depends on what is in my queue and what I need to work on or what I'm feeling like making in that moment, honestly. It's kind of all over the place. Yeah, I do get that a lot. I like playing with noise. That's really what it comes down to. That's all it is. I've got decent ears for it. Yeah. Hey, it's almost 2 p.m. here, and I got to wrap up some other things today before it gets too late. So I'm going to come over here and kick this box and see who is streaming right now and see who we can go visit. Hey, let's go say hi to E-Town. It's been a couple of weeks, and they just raided into us just like a few days ago, I think. So we'll do it. I'm going to go hit the button here, and I'm just going to say that I appreciate you guys, and thank you for hanging out with me again for another awesome Feedback Friday. Even if it was a quiet one, still really, really awesome. We're not going to do Feedback Friday next week. My kid's out of school. It's a birthday week and stuff. The following week, we'll be back to full schedule, but I will see you guys right after the weekend next Monday, and again on Wednesday. And until then, I hope you stay inspired, make something really awesome, and I see you on the flip. Peace out, y'all.